Part 1. The Birth of the Architect. Vincenzo Barlone was born on a cold January morning in 1942 in a cramped apartment above a bakery in Palermo's Calza district, one of the oldest, poorest, and most crime-soaked neighborhoods in Sicily. His father, Carlo, was a dock worker who lost 3 fingers in an accident when Vincenzo was only 5. His mother, Rosa, spent her days kneading dough and her nights praying that her son would not fall into the hands of the men who ruled the streets, the Cosa Nostra. But the Mafia had a way of choosing its children. From an early age, Vincenzo showed a mind sharper than any blade carried by the neighborhood's young foot soldiers. While the other boys fought in alleys, Vincenzo studied the men who truly controlled power. He watched how they spoke, how they negotiated, how they moved money around the city without ever touching it. He listened, he observed, and he learned. By the age of 12, he was already known for solving disputes between street vendors, predicting police raids with uncanny accuracy, and making calculations in his head that older men needed ledgers for. The local boss, Don Salvatore Gallo, took notice. One evening as Vincenzo swept the bakery floor, Don Gallo walked in with 2 capos. He picked up a loaf of bread, smelled it, put it down, and then knelt in front of the boy. "You have a gift," the Don said in his gravelly voice. "Not strength, not courage, intelligence. And intelligence is the rarest weapon in our world. Come help me. I'll show you how to use it." That night, Vincenzo stepped out of childhood and into the first shadows of power. Part 2. The Making of a Strategist. Don Gallo did not train Vincenzo to be a killer. He trained him to be a thinker. While other young recruits learned how to handle guns, extort shop owners, and intimidate rivals, Vincenzo learned economics, logistics, and geopolitics. Gallo brought him newspapers and forced him to read every page. He gave him history books, explaining that every empire, Roman, French, British, had risen and fallen because of structure. "You must understand structure, Vincenzo," Gallo repeated. "Violence wins battles, but structure wins kingdoms." By 17, Vincenzo was designing illegal shipping routes for the family. He mapped the Mediterranean like a chessboard, placing pieces where no one else saw potential. Smugglers praised his ability to find weak ports, corruptible customs agents, and patrol schedules most people didn't even know existed. One capo said, "He sees the world like blueprints, not like streets." That is how he earned the nickname, the Architect. By 23, he had already saved the Gallo family from bankruptcy twice and expanded their operations into Naples, Malta, and Marseille. Money flowed like water. Respect flowed even more. But success breeds jealousy. And in the world of the Mafia, jealousy is often deadlier than bullets. Part 3. The Betrayal That Made Him King. In the spring of 1967, Don Salvatore Gallo was assassinated in a cafe by 2 young hitmen from a rival clan. The moment the news spread through Palermo, chaos erupted. Gallo had no strong heir. His capos began fighting for control, threatening to tear the family apart. But Vincenzo, calm and cold as ever, saw opportunity. Within days, he uncovered the true motive behind the assassination. Not rivalry, but betrayal from within. 2 of Gallo's most trusted advisors had secretly conspired to seize power. They paid the assassins, then planned to blame the rival clan. Vincenzo acted first. He summoned the most loyal men and presented them with proof, recordings, documents, and witness statements he had quietly collected for years. No shouting, no rage, only facts. The traitors were executed that same night. The next morning, all capos assembled in the abandoned olive mill that served as the family's meeting place. Vincenzo, only 25, stood before them with a map of Sicily on the wall and plans for restructuring the operation. He explained how he would modernize their drug routes, eliminate unnecessary violence, and turn the Gallo family into an international syndicate rather than a local gang. When he finished, silence filled the room. Then one by one, the capos knelt. Vincenzo Barlone, nostro capo dei capi. The architect became king, and Sicily would never be the same. Part 4. The Empire of the Architect. Under Vincenzo's leadership, the Barlone family became the most profitable criminal organization in southern Europe. But unlike other bosses, Vincenzo refused to rule through fear alone. He ruled through structure, systems that made his empire nearly impossible to topple. He reorganized their operations like a corporation. Separate departments, layers of protection, zero direct links between top and bottom. Every crew blind to the work of the next. He created invisible shipping networks using fishing boats with hidden compartments, church-owned charities with donations, luxury yachts with diplomatic covers, cargo containers mislabeled as construction material. And for the first time in Mafia history, he used mathematics to predict police raids and international crackdowns. People called him the Einstein of crime. But power corrupted the empire from within. While Vincenzo built, others envied. And in 1978, the first cracks began to show. Part 5. The Rise of the American Rival. Across the Atlantic, a young and ruthless New York mobster named Johnny Knuckles Marino was making a name for himself. Marino didn't admire the architect. He despised him. He believed Vincenzo's strategy-heavy philosophy made him soft. Marino built his empire on fear, torture, and blood. When Marino learned that one of his major heroin pipelines was controlled by Barlone, he declared war. Not loudly, not openly, but silently, by targeting everything Vincenzo cared about. He bribed Barlone's best informant. He poisoned one of his trusted chemists. He sunk 2 of his cargo ships. The architect saw the pattern immediately, but instead of lashing out, he planned. In 1980, he traveled to New York under a false identity and spent 2 weeks analyzing Marino's operation in the shadows. He studied the man, his habits, his weaknesses. He discovered one. Marino trusted his cousin Pietro more than anyone. So Vincenzo turned Pietro. With money? No. With logic. He proved to Pietro that Marino's brutality would eventually destroy both of them. 3 months later, Marino was ambushed in a warehouse. Pietro pulled the trigger. Vincenzo returned to Sicily without firing a single shot. People whispered, "He kills with his mind." But even minds have limits. Part 6. The Fall of the Architect. Power creates enemies, but it also creates blind spots. In 1993, after almost 3 decades of control, Vincenzo faced his greatest threat, not from rivals, but from the government. International intelligence agencies, armed with new surveillance technology, began mapping the invisible network Vincenzo had built. Then came the betrayal. Someone close, very close, began feeding information to authorities. Names, routes, meeting places. Within 6 months, 57 members of the Barlone family were arrested. For the first time in his life, Vincenzo miscalculated. He underestimated ambition. He underestimated envy. He underestimated his own brother, Marco. Marco had never forgiven Vincenzo for becoming king. He wanted to rule, and he believed that if he destroyed the empire, he would rebuild it his way. Instead, he destroyed everything. Vincenzo was captured in Barcelona during a secret meeting. The press swarmed the airport as they brought him in shackles back to Italy. Headlines screamed, "The ghost of Sicily finally caught the architect, falls Mafia genius behind bars." Marco Barlone attempted to seize what remained of the family. 1 week later, he was found in his villa, throat slit from ear to ear. No one knows who killed him. Some say loyalists avenged Vincenzo. Some say international rivals sent a message. Some whisper that even from prison, the architect still pulled strings. Part 7. The Legend Behind the Bars. Vincenzo was sentenced to multiple life terms in a maximum security prison, but he never lost his calm, his dignity, or his intellect. Even from behind bars, he wrote essays on criminal economics that circulated secretly among underworld leaders. Some cartels treated his writings as gospel, others as warnings. He died in 2017 at age 75, quietly, alone. Yet even in death, the legend grew. Some say his empire still exists, operating through the systems he built decades ago, so efficient that no one has ever successfully dismantled them. Some say he trained a successor, others believe that the architect was the last true mafia thinker, a man who turned crime into a science. But one truth remains: no mafia empire before or after ever matched the elegance, precision, and intelligence of Vincenzo Barlone's reign. The architect did not just build an empire, he built a legacy. If you made it to the end, thank you. Please leave a like and subscribe. It helps me create more stories like this one, because some secrets are still waiting to be heard.